Okay guys, so today we're going to be doing 2.1, which is the remainder theorem. And in the remainder theorem, we'll be learning basically before how I was saying that you can't graph it yet because you can't get from standard form to factored form to figure out what those x-intercepts are. Well, now this is going to be a strategy to help you learn how to get to that factored form. So in order to do that, you first need to remember how to do long division. So let's start with a basic question, which is we're going to divide 753 by 22. So at first, you want to see, okay, well, how many times can 22 go into just the first two numbers, 75? And how many times can that go in? It can go in 3 times. So then after you put it in 3 times, how much was that? That was 66. And you always subtract. Once you do that subtraction, you get 9. Okay, so now you're going to look, okay, well, how many times can 22 go into 9? Well, it can't. So you carry the last number down, which is 3. So now that you've carried that down, it's how many times can 22 go into 93? And how many times can that go? 4. And what is that? That's 88. You subtract, and you end up with 5. So every time you're figuring out how much 22 will go into the number, and then to get this number, you're doing the number that you had up here to multiply down. Now we have to figure out, well, how can that actually be written if you were to write it as a full statement? So it can be written as 753. Remember, this line underneath still means divided by 22. And if we were to write that, we know that that's going to equal 34. However, there is a remainder. There is a remainder of plus 5. Except we can't just do plus 5, because if you do 34 plus 5, you're going to get 39, and 753 divided by 22 is not 39. So what you have to do then is 5, because it's a remainder. 5 has not been divided by 22 yet, so you have to divide that remainder. Okay? Now we're going to go behind the balloon, and we're going to see for each what that represents. So the quotient, whoops, move the balloon out of the way. For the quotient, that's the number that you get up top. And the 22, that's the divisor. And 753, that's called the dividend. And the last part, which is the remainder. So we'll just move that balloon back. Okay, so those are all the categories and then what each part is called. And that's the start of the remainder theorem.